Hi everybody. So today we're going to be observing two new plants. We're going to be looking at bush bean and the black-eyed pea. But before we do that, I'm going to make my own observation of the plants that we looked at last time, the radish and the clover. Here's me drawing the clover.
Okay, so I drew the clover that we were all observing before. So first thing I noticed, there's so many more. I'll even put the clover here. I was looking at it. You can look with me. So I was noticing how many there are. I didn't want to, it would take me a long time to draw all of them, but there's really so many that have started to sprout, you can notice, right? And when you look at it from above like this, like you see them all, I don't know, like they're flat and you can see all the shapes. I was drawing it like this. So that's why on my drawing I have, they're almost looking kind of flat. So I'm gonna write that. Flat leaves. I was noticing, but also of course they're an interesting shape from above. I noticed that a lot of you are telling me that you noticed that they were almost a heart shape. I agree with that. I really think that they are a heart shape or something that's kind of like it. So this one is kind of a heart shape. I'm gonna write that. H-E-A-R-T, shaped. They're heart shaped. And then other things that I'm noticing is that the top of the clover, the leaf itself is kind of large and wide, but the stem is so delicate. Do you see how thin they are? So the stem, I'll write thin, T-H-I-N. And then the petal, or the leaf, is wide. Y-D. And then one thing I also want to show you is that I'm gonna be really careful. I'm gonna hold the clover on top, but look at this on the bottom. Look at that. You can see all the roots, which I really think is amazing. That's sort of a special thing that we get from using containers that are clear. I didn't actually add this in my drawing, but I'm going to put it here just so we don't forget. Roots. And because I'm so excited about it, I'm going to put an exclamation point because there's so many. I'll even underline it too. So that's some of the things that I was noticing about the clovers. I'm going to now draw the radish. All right, so now I drew a quick drawing of the radish. Let me bring it over so you can see it. So again, I wish I had as much time as it needed for me to draw all of these leaves because there are so many. The first thing that I was noticing though that I wanted to talk to you about is that I saw that there's kind of a pattern of two different kinds of leaves. So do you see this one down here? This one has on the edges, it's a little bit more wavy. So I'm gonna write wavy leaf, wavy leaf. Do you see on the edges? I'll bring you one. Like this is an example of one of them. And then the other thing I'm noticing is that there is another kind that I'm going to say is more of a smooth edged leaf. And both of those are together in the radish, and I didn't know that. I've never seen that before, because I actually don't know much about radishes. I'm learning all of this with you. So I drew them kind of next to each other so that you could maybe tell the difference. So here's that wavy leaf I was just talking about, and here is the smooth one. Also, this one is too. You see how they're both smooth? Smooth, edged, leaf. And I'm also noticing, I actually forgot to draw this part, but inside, do you see the red? So I didn't have a red marker, but let's just pretend. I'm going to put a line in here, and I'm gonna write red stems. And the other thing I'm noticing is look at how tall this is getting. They're really getting very tall. Really tall, I'm gonna write. Really tall stems. And maybe another exclamation point because I'm excited about it. Speaking of excited, ready to see the roots? This one really blew me away. Look at that. These roots are so intricate. You can see that they are really, really close together, I'm noticing. There are many of them. And they go in all these different directions. And they really, I don't know where to go. And they're also pretty thin. Some roots are thick, but these ones are pretty thin. So I'm going to, I'll give it back. Okay, so let me write that down. Thin roots. They're thin roots. I'll put bullet points. That's like little dots. They're thin roots. Many roots. And they go all over. Going all over. All right, so those are some of the things that I observed from the radish. So now it's going to be your turn to take a close look at the black-eyed peas and the bush bean. So when you take a look at these, when you are observing them, think about all of the different things that you're seeing. Is it tall? Is it short? Is it somewhere in between? Are there different textures in the leaves? Like, do you remember just in the radish, there's the wavy leaves that kind of had those rough edges, and then there was the one that had smooth edges. And then you can ask yourself, what are the colors you're seeing? I found just the one kind of green, but maybe there's going to be more on those ones. So take a closer look and see what you see.
So here we have the black-eyed peas that are growing really tall. And after you look at the black-eyed peas, you're going to see the bush bean. So take a close look at what you're noticing about the black-eyed peas and the bush bean, and then make your observations. You can write about it, you can draw and label, or you can talk about it in detail. And I'm excited to see what you're noticing. So take a good look. Wow, look at those leaves. Very, very beautiful. And here's the bush bean. Look at those stems. Oh my gosh. It's gotten so tall. Wow. I wonder all the things you might notice about that. Are all the leaves on the same side? Looks like they are kind of in the same position. Anyway, after you have a look at the bush bean, if you want to take a closer look at both of these plants another time, the photos are also going to be in the document. So have a look.